Hey everyone, today we're diving into a pretty wild AI tool from Google, one that might just completely flip the script on how you make your next podcast. It's called Notebook LM, and, well, it's designed to do all the tough stuff for you.
So let's just get right to it. The big question on everyone's mind. Could an AI really produce your next podcast? I mean, if you're a creator, you know the drill, right? The endless hours of research, the outlining, the scripting, all that before you even think about hitting record. It's a massive time sink. But imagine, what if a tool could just take care of most of that?
All right, so let's frame this up. Let's think of this tool, Notebook LM, as something more than just software. Think of it as your creative partner, almost like an AI co-producer, right there with you, helping you get your ideas out there way, way faster.
So, what is it exactly? At its heart, Notebook LM is an AI research assistant. But here's the crucial difference, and this is a big one. It doesn't just go and search the entire internet. Nope, it only looks at the sources that you give it. You feed it your articles, your interview notes, all your research, and bam, it instantly becomes an expert on your topic. It helps you find those little connections and key ideas that you might have totally overlooked.
Okay, so this all sounds great, but the big promise, the one-click podcast, is that real? Can it actually do that? Well, let's dig in, because the answer is surprisingly close to yes. So Google just dropped this feature called Audio Overview. And honestly, this is the absolute game changer. It takes all your stuff, your sources, your outline, and it doesn't just spit out a boring script. No, it generates an actual conversational audio draft. It sounds like a deep dive discussion between two AI speakers. Pretty wild.
And how it works is just unbelievably simple. You pick your documents, you give it a quick outline for your episode, and then you just click Generate. That's it. The AI takes all that dense info and instantly transforms it into this natural back-and-forth conversation.
Yeah, I mean, it is literally that easy. That's the whole point. There's no messing around with complicated settings or trying to figure out some technical manual. You can go from a messy folder of research notes to a draft audio in just a few minutes. That's crazy.
Okay. But of course it's not actual magic, right? Like, with any new tech, we gotta be real about it. It's super important to understand the limitations. So let's do a little reality check here. What can this thing really do, and what can it do, at least not yet?
First off, there are some pretty hard limits. Right now, the audio it generates only supports 2 speakers, so no big roundtable discussions just yet. You also don't get much control over the tone or style of the AI voices. And this is a big one. Your first draft is probably not going to be your final one. You'll definitely need to tweak and refine things to get a script that sounds really natural and polished.
And this is where that whole partnership idea really clicks into place. The AI does the grunt work, it surfaces the insights, drafts the outlines, generates that initial audio. But you, the creator, you're still the one who brings the magic. You're refining the script, editing the pacing, adding your unique sound and style.
So here's the key takeaway, really. Think of Notebook LM as getting you about, say, 70% of the way to a finished episode. It's not the finish line, not even close, but it is an absolutely massive head start. It takes care of the most boring, time-consuming parts of pre-production for you.
So that begs the question, right? How do you close that last 30% gap? Well, that's where a real pro workflow comes in, one that uses the best of both worlds, the AI and your dedicated production tools.
The best way to think about it is this. Notebook LM is your ideation layer. I love that phrase. It's the launch pad, not the rocket ship. It's where you brainstorm, get your thoughts in order, and get that first solid draft up and running.
So what does that expert workflow actually look like? Well, it's pretty straightforward. Step 1 and 2, you're in Notebook LM. You're brainstorming and getting that first audio file. Then you take that audio and script and you pop it into a real production suite, something like Podcastle. That's where you do the serious editing, pick better voices, add your music, the whole shebang. And from there, it's just one final step to get it out to places like Spotify.
And look, this isn't just theory. There's a creator, Fatumi Yatani, who did this exact thing. She let Notebook LM handle all the heavy research in that first audio draft. Then she just took those files and uploaded them right to Spotify for podcasters. And the result was, well, she published 10 episodes in a tiny fraction of the time it would have normally taken her. That's proof right there.
All right, so as we start to wrap this up, what's the final verdict here? What's the best way to think about this tool? I think the perfect term for it is a smart accelerator.
Look, the bottom line is this. Notebook LM is a ridiculously powerful accelerator. It can genuinely save you dozens of hours on research and scripting. But, and this is a big but, it's not a full production studio. It's not a one-stop shop. The art of it, the final polish, the personality, that still has to come from you.
And that leaves us with one last and I think really exciting question. If a tool like this can just automate all the boring, tedious, heavy lifting part of creating, that frees you up to focus on what really matters, right? So the only question left is, with all that extra time and all that extra energy, what stories are you going to tell?